Hello, hello. Have you ever titrated up and wished you had stayed on the lower dose? Well, that's me. I am on Mounjaro 7.5 milligrams, and it is not what I thought it would be. I was so excited to go on 7.5. If you remember my song, I even made a song about it, the titrating up song. Take a listen. I'm titrating on up. Well, as you can see, I was so excited. Well, that excitement turned to frustration, and I am going to tell you why. I'm also going to tell you what I plan to do about it, so I do have a plan. There are 3 things that happened quickly on the 7.5 milligram dose that I did not expect, and I didn't have that experience on the lower doses. The first thing is that for the first few days after my injection, the appetite suppression was strong. So I take my injection on Saturday night. So on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, the appetite suppression is there. It's doing what it's supposed to do. By Wednesday, I'm eating everything that I would want to eat, but I shouldn't eat. So I'm eating some healthy things, but I'm just overeating. I just know my appetite is back. The good news is I don't have many foods in my house that could actually sabotage me, so that's good. A lot of the foods I have in my house are on my plan, but there are times when I have overeaten protein bars, or I have these a trail mix. I'll put a picture up. I should have brought them in here. I was proud of myself because yesterday I ate the trail mix, and it has raisins, peanuts, it has M&Ms, and it's 270 calories for the pack. So it's kind of high up there. Peanuts are high in calories, high in fat. But I didn't eat the whole thing. I only ate a little bit of it, and I taped it down. I'll take a picture of it. I taped it down. And I thought, I'm only eating half of this, baby. I'm not eating the whole thing. So that was good. I bought a huge box at Sam's Club. So when those go, I won't purchase those again. I might even just put those to the side and maybe save those in a couple months when I'm doing better on my journey here, but we shall see. Another thing I noticed that when I do eat that, because it has M&Ms in it, I don't know if I mentioned that, but it makes me crave sweeter things, and that has always been my weak spot, sweetness and crunchy. I like all things sweet and all things crunchy. I only have a few left, so today is Monday. Happy Labor Day, by the way. Today is Monday, so I will be fine until what day? Wednesday. By Wednesday, I'm going to be looking for that trail mix. So I figure this out by Wednesday when that appetite suppression wears off. Like I said, when I was on the lower doses, I wasn't even tempted by any of this. It's just now that I'm on this 7.5, it's keeping the appetite alive. So the second thing that came back quickly is the food noise. From when I am constantly thinking about food. I've been planning out my meals in my head. When I wake up, what am I going to eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? I'm back, so now that I've started back to work, now that my summer vacation is over, in the mornings now, every day I would pass by Dunkin' Donuts to get to school. And pretty much 3 times, maybe 4 times out of the week, Fridays I don't stop because it's just too crowded. But if it wasn't crowded on a Friday, I would have been stopping probably on a Friday too. But I would get, a donut, I would get a refresher. I'm not a big coffee fan, but I even would get a coffee. And so since I've started Mounjaro, I don't think I've stopped there to get anything for myself. I've gotten gift cards. I may have gotten 1 coffee, but I have not stopped there. I pass by there every day and haven't wanted it until 7.5. So now I find myself thinking like, I should just stop. Just get a coffee. And remember, I don't drink coffee like that. When I do, I make my own at home. Something's been going on with my coffee maker, so I haven't really been able to make my own at home. It just was telling me to stop and get a coffee. Stop and get a coffee. And I did not. So even though that 7.5 is not doing what it's supposed to do in my mind, it has prevented me from stopping at that Dunkin' Donuts. I still have not stopped and even gotten a coffee. So I guess that's a non-scale victory that I will claim. I'm going to claim it. But again, when I was on those lower doses, I wasn't even tempted. So what's up with you, 7.5? The third thing that came back quickly is my cravings. I haven't had a lot of cravings. I've been taking Mounjaro. I have had thoughts here and there of like, oh, it would be nice to, Twix, or it'd be nice to have like a piece of candy. And usually I get the bite-sized, things that I'm not indulging in the whole thing. But I haven't had a lot of that until 7.5. My cravings are for things like condados. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's a Mexican restaurant. And I love their bowls. It's kind of like Chipotle, but a little notch towards the more authentic. So I would get a chicken bowl, or, a lot of times I would get a veggie bowl. So pretty much everything without the chicken, the meat. And, I would get not the bowls. I'm take that back. I would get the nachos because I like that crunch. Remember, I like all things sweet and crunchy. And, I was always getting condados, and especially on Tuesdays when it's Taco Tuesday, I would be Nacho Tuesday. I would get that. Another place I love to go to is, jot this down. So, Benihana. I don't know if you guys have a Benihana where you live, but we have a Benihana, and it's not the best to go to it anymore for customer service, but I would order there from DoorDash, and I would order for my daughter and I. It's super expensive, but it's oh so worth it. And I would order the shrimp hibachi meal. And I also have my daughter, who's 7, on this hibachi kick. So that was our go-to spot. And I would order that all the time. And I would order Chipotle. I like to go in Chipotle because I like to tell them how much of this, how much of that to put in my bowl. But I haven't been doing much of Chipotle on DoorDash. So I did look it up. And since February 17th, when I started Mounjaro, I really have not ordered DoorDash except for twice. And I'm going to put it on the screen. If my memory serves me correctly, I ordered in March and I ordered in May. And in May, they sent me someone else's order. So instead of, order somewhere else, I just cooked at home that night. But I was refunded my money back. So technically, I've only eaten DoorDash one time. And DoorDash and all these delivery places for someone who had an issue with food control, cravings, and food noise is just the icing on the cake, isn't it, to add on those calories. I think the reason why I loved DoorDash, first of all, we know it's convenient, and I tell anybody, I'm the first to say I will pay for convenience in a heartbeat. And so it's convenient, but also no one knew that I was a frequent those fast food places. I didn't have to actually go in there. It could just be driven to my house. So in a way, it was allowing me to be anonymous and eat all that junk and the processed things without actually have to walk in there and get it, right? And nobody knew, but my stomach knew, and my thighs knew, and my clothes knew that I was ordering from DoorDash 3 to 4 times a week. So I will have to say thank you to Mounjaro. I know DoorDash doesn't thank you, but I thank you because you've been saving me some money as well. My other cravings involves all things sweet. My favorite is a Twix bar or a Snickers bar. And I know these cravings are stress related because I just started back to school. School began back here in August, like maybe it has for most people. Some students aren't headed back until tomorrow after Labor Day. So we've already been in session for about 2 weeks. It's 2 solid weeks already. And so I have treats that I give out to the kids. I had a parent last year that gave me a huge box of candy with just little bite-sized, candies. It was for her son who had braces. And he was so excited to get the braces off. And that's one of the things she wanted to share with our class. I had a little bit left over. I've been giving the kids the rest of those. And I've been nibbling on those here and there, which is not a good thing. These are like Jolly Ranchers, soft kind. So I've just been finding myself nibbling on those. And so as a result of my stress, I have been eating things that I wouldn't normally eat. Now, when I was on 2.5, especially in 5, I did not have these cravings like this. So I'm like, 7.5, what are you doing? I was expecting suppression here, but it has not happened. I do realize that when I'm giving into those sweet treats, it's just making me crave more sugar. I believe on Friday, I gave out the last of those treats. And if I didn't, they're going as soon as I get to school on Tuesday. You come in with a smile, I'm giving you a prize. You're there. You get a prize for showing up because I really want to get rid of those treats that I can nibble on. With a diet, with anything you're trying to do or goal you're trying to accomplish, the best thing you could do is set yourself up for success. I have not been setting myself up for success at schools this year. But as I said before, when I was on the lower doses, so what is the deal? 7.5. So that brings us to, what do I plan to do about it, right? You always have to have a plan. So how does the saying go? If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So here is my plan. I am going to focus on protein. And I know when you're on these GLP-1s, you're sick of hearing it. I'm sick of hearing it. But it's true. Protein, protein, protein. Protein fills you up. I am not a big protein person. I love all things carbs. But I do need to step up my protein however I can do that. That's my number one plan. I just need to make sure that I'm doing that. And I need to be more conscious of that, like keeping track. Thing is, people always talk about the keto diet. I don't want to do a keto diet, but I do that when you reduce carbs, you do lose weight. I'm going to give myself 100 carbs, which is on the stricter side. I mean, you get up to 100 carbs quick, but I'm going to give myself 100 carbs to start this next week and see how it goes. I'm going to really track the carbs. That's my goal. Track carbs and to track that protein. And then, of course, you need that water to flush it all out. So that is my plan. Protein, tracking carbs, 100 grams or less, and more water. Currently, I'm drinking 64 ounces of water at least. I love water. I mean, before Mounjaro or when I'm on any kind of diet, I've always just drank water. I don't add a lot to my water. I don't like those flavored waters. I'm not a Diet Coke person or diet products. I don't do anything really to add to it. But I do love LMNT. I still love LMNT, the watermelon salt. I'm not adding that as much either, only on my shot day now. I'm down to a 1 day and I enjoy it. I drink 64 ounces. The goal is to get to 80 consistently. Do I plan to titrate up because 7.5 is not going the way I planned? No. I am going to incorporate some things that I think I can do. When I moved up to 7.5, I was able to get 3 boxes, 7.5. So I'm currently on my second box, my first injection yesterday of my second box, and I'm going to stick this out. So I'm riding 7.5 until the wheels fall off, and that should put me right up to 10. Depending on how I do, I may want to stay on there. I don't know. But that would put me at 10 milligrams right into November, which is tough because you Thanksgiving dinner, and I plan on cooking that again this year. How much of it will I eat is the question. Some strategies and things you can share. Leave a comment in the comment section. I would love to read and hear about how I can notch. I think that's what I need to do first before I just say on to titrate up. Now in my next video, I could be saying, I'm going on 10. I have learned that you never say never. So we're just taking this one step at a time. But for right now, my plan is to stay on 7.5 until that third box is complete. So leave a comment in the comment section and let me know, have you ever titrated up and wish you had stayed on the lower dose? Well, thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video. Remember, slow and steady wins the race. Just don't quit.